Hi all, today we are going to discuss about different zones of protection. So before going to different zones of protection, let us first see what are the essential qualities of protection. So what are the basic requirements of the protection? So after that we will go for why should we go for the protection zones, and then we will see about the primary and the backup type of relay protections. So essential qualities of the protection, the first one is it should have the selectivity and discrimination. So what is the meaning of selectivity of the discrimination? The selectivity means, let us assume if you take a particular power system, if fault has happened at some part of the power system. Let us take for example, I am taking a generator. So from the generator there will be some transformer, then there will be some transmission line, again transformer is there, here some load is there. So let us assume the fault has happened at this point. So when the fault has happened, only this particular part, that means this particular part only should disconnect, and the relay at your alternator should not trip, because this generator may be connected in parallel and supplying another transmission line also. So the relay of this generator should not disconnect, only this particular component where the fault comes, only that particular component should disconnect. That is called as the selectivity property. And the second property is a discrimination. So there should have the discrimination property. This discrimination is required. Let us take for example during the switching transients. So during the switching transients happens, the voltages increases drastically. That should not unnecessarily trip any one of your relays, or any particular part of your system should not go, because it will automatically stop by itself, because it will remain for very less period of time. If for every switching transients or the lightning stroke, if your circuit disconnects, then there will be a discontinuity of your supply. And similarly there is one more thing, whenever you are closing the switch for your transformer, there is a magnetic inrush current. So this magnetic inrush current will be nearly 5 to 6 times of the full load current of your transformer. Even though it is operating under no load, but the current will be 5 to 6 times of your full load current. So this much huge current will pass, but this will pass only for a small fraction of the time. So during this, if it starts switching, we can never switch on your transmission line. So this is called as the charging of the transformer, or it is also called as magnetic inrush current. If you already have idea about this, it is fine. Otherwise you can refer to my transformers lectures. So there I have discussed this magnetic inrush currents in detail, or the charging of the transformer in detail there. So you can please refer there. So it should not operate under these conditions. So under these conditions, it should not operate. So this is called as a discrimination. And what is the meaning of selectivity? Only the faulty part should disconnect. Wherever the fault comes, only that part should disconnect. And the second property that is required is reliability. The meaning reliable means I can completely depend on it. That means it should protect for the 100% of the times. Like whenever the fault comes, I should be sure that my circuit will surely protect my transmission line. That means if the fault happens in a particular section, so that section should be 100%, it should be protected. Let us assume your switchgear equipment or your protection equipment sleeps for some time. That means it doesn't operate whenever the fault happens. Then there is a chance your entire system may damage. So these things we have already discussed in our previous class. So I want my system should be so much reliable. So to have the reliability, we generally go for the backup protection along with the primary protection, so that even if some components of your this protective system, because we have seen in the last class, the protective system will contain, along with the circuit breaker, it needs a CT, PT, that means current transformer, potential transformer, relay, separate DC power supply. There is actuating signal that will pass to the circuit breaker. So all those things are there. So if any component doesn't work, then that system will not work. So always some backup will be required in order to increase the reliability. That we are going to see in detail soon. So then after that, it should have the sensitivity also required. So sensitivity means it should be sensitive. Sensitive means even the small changes there, it should detect. That means it should operate above pick up value. So generally the value that is set. So let us assume your circuit breaker should operate if your current crosses some 100 amperes. That means it should be guaranteed that once it crosses the 100 amperes, even 100.01 amperes also, it should trip. That is called as the sensitivity. That pickup value means that 100 amperes whatever is set, that is called as the pickup value. Above the pickup value, it should immediately operate. That is called as the sensitivity. Then the fourth one that should be there, that is the stability. So the stability means, so whenever the fault is happening, let us assume I am taking a particular zone, the fault is in some another zone. Let us take for example in this case. So the fault is in this zone, but the current is supplied by your generator also. But your generator should not affect, only your transmission line should disconnect. If due to some reason, if your protective system at your transmission line is not operating, then only after some time your alternator should disconnect, so that your alternator will not damage, or for more time it is not exposed to it. Even though the high value of the current is passing, but that current is not passing in this due to the fault in this zone, the current is passing through the fault in this transmission line. So this is called as the stability of the system. That means it should only operate for the faults that happens in that zone, and if the fault current is passing due to the fault happening in some other zone, it should be able to withstand temporarily for some time. So this is called as the stability. And the last one, it should have the fast operation. So it should operate as early as possible whenever the fault happens in a system. So now your power system contains the different components. They are generators, transformers, bus bars, transmission and distribution systems, etc. And each of these elements have different characteristics. Like for example, your transmission lines are exposed to your open atmosphere. So in that case of transmission line, the different type of faults that can happen are different. Whereas if you go for the generators, their characteristic of the faults are different. In the transformers, the type of faults are different. Same thing is the case for the bus bars. So that's why each of these elements have different characteristic of the faults and hence need different type of protection schemes. That's why your power system is divided into different zones depending on the characteristic of each element, and each zones may cover one or maximum up to two elements only. Let us take for example, I am taking a transmission line. So there are two generators. So I am taking, there are two generators. So they are connected through circuit breaker to a low voltage station bus bar, and from this bus bar they are connected through circuit breaker to the power transformers, and from the power transformer again circuit breakers are provided and bus couplers are provided, such that if the fault happens in any one part or during the repairing of any one particular branch, the current can be bypassed through some other branch. This is called as a bus coupler. Then there will be a transmission line. Let us assume at the receiving end also again the bus coupler will be there, and they are protected through the circuit breakers on both sides of the bus coupler. Getting this? So in this case, as I am telling, the characteristic of different elements are different, so they can be divided into different zones. So let us take for example, I am taking the generator. So generator will be protected by a separate protective device here. This will be one zone. Similarly, this generator is also provided by another protection. So this is another zone. So this one is called as the generator protection. So there is a separate zone. So now coming to the bus bar. So the low voltage station bus bar also should be protected, and here we always provide some type of overlap between adjacent value of or the adjacent zones. Why this overlap is required? Because if you are not providing the overlap, sometimes due to change in the characteristic of your circuit breaker or other elements of your system, or due to introduction of some fault resistance or other thing, when the fault comes, that particular part which is not protected will not be covered or will not be protected. That means even if the fault happens at the border, sometimes it may not be detected, and that leads to the problem. So always some overlap is provided so that every part of your power system is properly protected. This is called as overlapping. So that's why this up to here you can see some part. So there is a overlap is there. So this overlap is there so that no part will remain unprotected. So this is another zone. So this zone is for protecting the low voltage station bus bar protection. So low voltage station bus bar protection is provided. Again, now coming to the transformer, again transformer need the protection. So let me represent with the different color. So this one also will be protected. this power transformer will be protected in the separate zone. So this is one protection zone. This is also another protection zone. So whenever fault happens to this transformer, only that particular zone circuit breaker should operate. So this is called as power transformer protection. So this is one zone. So similar is the case if you are going to, because power transformer will step up the voltage. So this is called as the high voltage circuit breakers, because high voltage switch gears are there. Again, they should also be protected. So they are also protected using another zone. So let us take example. Again, I am taking some different color. So each one is protected. So this one is protected separately. So same thing is the case, the second one. So this one is also, some overlap will be there between these two adjacent protective zones. So these are called as high voltage switchgear protection zone. This is another zone. So same thing is the case now coming to the transmission line. So again there will be some overlap between this transmission line and this one. Again this part will be protected. This is called as the transmission line protection. So the transmission line protective zone is there. So same thing is the case here, is some little bit of overlap will be there. Okay, this is called as transmission line protection zone, or this is a zone for transmission line protection. Now coming to the receiving end, again at the receiving end there will be switchgear. Again they should be protected separately. Again they are protected using the separate zones. So there will be one zone that is protected here. So same thing is the case, the second one, this one is also protected separately using the another zone. So this is called as HV switchgear at the receiving end protection. This is another zone. So here I am just summarizing what we have seen. We have seen that some overlap is provided. So some overlap is required between adjacent zones so that no component or part of power system is unprotected. But providing the overlap, what happens? Let us assume if the fault happens in any one particular zone, let us assume the fault has happened at this location. If the fault happens in this location, so actually the fault has happened in the location of HV switchgear zone, but the circuit breaker for this overhead transmission line zone may trip. The circuit breaker in the overhead transmission line may trip because it is in the zone of this overhead transmission line zone. Let us assume if the fault has happened at this point, so this may lead to tripping of the transmission line. That is a disadvantage. So that's why this overlapping zone should be as minimum as possible. So to avoid maloperation of circuit breaker of different overlapping zones, this overlapping area should be as minimum as possible. This is the basic thing that is required. Now, sometimes this primary protection may fail due to some reason, due to the malfunctioning of the relays, circuit breakers, wiring, even CT/PT, DC supplies, etc. So in order to protect that, we go for the primary and the backup protection schemes. If due to some reason the primary protection scheme which is mentioned above fails, then backup protection will be required to improve the reliability. So there are different types of backup protection schemes that are used. First one is called as a remote backup. The name itself is telling that backup is provided at a remote location. Generally, the backup is provided in some adjacent zone of the protection. So this can be even the same circuit breaker or the protection scheme that is provided at the adjacent zone. If the adjacent zone, the protective scheme is having a different characteristics, then there we may use a different type of scheme according to the first one. And this one, that entire set of protection circuit will be different. So it operates only if your primary protection system fails. Let us assume for the case of transmission lines, we can go for the time graded protection. The meaning of time graded protection means, let us assume I am having a transmission line. So there is a generator. Let us assume there is a transformer, there is a transmission line, again there is a transformer. Let us assume the fault has happened here. So whenever the fault happened here, the circuit breaker at this function, so let us assume this is A. This A should trip first. Due to some reason, let us assume this circuit breaker has not tripped, then the circuit breaker which is provided at the power transformer, let us assume this circuit breaker B. If A fails, then B will operate. So when it should operate? It should operate only if the A failed. That means, let us assume I want my circuit breaker should open in 0.2 seconds. So due to some reason it doesn't operate, then this B will operate because it is not in this zone, but still it will operate after 0.4 seconds. That means it will wait for some extra time. Up to that time, if the fault in the adjacent zone is not cleared, then the circuit breaker at this zone will trip, so that the remaining components which are before it will not damage, like such as the transformer or your alternator will not damage. So this is called as the time graded protection. Getting it? So within the zone it will operate at a lesser time, but if the fault happens at the adjacent zone, it will take more time. This thing I am going to discuss while discussing the relays, how this time graded protection can be provided. So there I will discuss in detail. Then there are some more other type of protection schemes. They are called as the local backup. Local backup means the backup is provided in the same station. So again it is having two types. One is the relay backup. The name itself is telling relay. Entire relay circuitry will have a duplicate setup. That means except the circuit breaker, all the remaining components will have one extra set will be provided. So there will be have a separate duplicate set. Only circuit breaker will be same, but remaining elements have the duplicate set. If due to some reason if your primary relay doesn't operate, then your backup or the duplicate relay will operate. So this is required only if the remote backup is not available, because providing an extra setup needs extra huge investment. So that's why this is only required when your backup relay or backup protection is not possible. For example, the protection of the alternator. There is no backup relay option available, remote location is not available, that is in the beginning only. So there in those cases we will go for this type of protection. There is one more type of protection called as the breaker backup protection. The name itself is telling circuit breaker will have a duplicate circuit breaker, one extra circuit breaker will be used. But circuit breakers is very costly, so this is mainly used to protect the bus bars. Generally, the bus bars have so many circuit breakers already. So let us assume due to some reason the relay operates and your main circuit breaker does not open. So what will happen? After some time, the main relay, because whichever relay is responsible for operation of main circuit breaker, that will wait for some time. If the main circuit breaker is not opened, that means still the continuity of fault is there, then it will close the relay contacts of other circuit breakers, so that they will operate and disconnect your complete bus bar. They will disconnect the complete bus bar. So this is called as breaker backups. They will disconnect the bus bar. Getting it? So I hope different zones of protection, what is primary and backup protection and what is the essential qualities of the protection are completely clear to you. If you still have any queries, you can leave your comments in the comment section below. I will answer to your queries from there. Thank you. Thank you very much.